Blog Talk Radio.
To you listeners, a pleasant good morning. Today is a very special day because we have a very special show with a very special guest. Normally we devote our show to interviewing authors of books, but today we have a creator of music in the form of steel pan. I'm talking about Robert Symons. Symons or Symons?
Symons.
Symons, all right. Robert, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ettien. Go ahead.
Go right ahead. Now, I understand you are a native of Southampton Parish in Bermuda. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, Southampton, Bermuda, yeah.
Okay. So is that where you were born and raised and started playing steel band? Tell us about it, please.
Okay. No, actually, I was born in Paget Parish and went up to Southampton Parish when I was about 2 years old. So I grew up there.
Okay.
Bermuda is divided into parishes, like the United States is divided up in states. So
yeah.
I'm at more or less the west end of the island, up near where all the pristine, beautiful beaches are, like Horseshoe Bay and such. But no, I didn't take up pan when I was a kid. I took up pan actually when I was living in St. Thomas and St. John.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
How about that?
Yeah, that was like 1995. That's when I took up the pan. Then prior to that, I was a bass guitarist.
Oh, so you started playing the bass guitar. What a switch from guitar to steel pan.
It wasn't that difficult, really. I play by ear. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the instrument is, man. It's just getting the mechanics down of the instrument itself, right? And then the rest is just fun.
Okay. So yeah. I don't know much about music or steel pan, for that matter. All I know is I love the sound it produces. But
right.
What kind of steel pan do you play? I mean, in musical quality, is it a bass pan or alto pan or
it's
what
a
is
lead.
It?
It's a tenor pan. It's a lead pan.
No pan. Okay. Thank you for the education, as we would say.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, it's a tenor pan.
Okay, great. So with that, then you could play lead songs, or you become well, obviously that's why you become the soloist, huh?
That's correct. Yes. You can back yourself up on it as well, but a lot of backing up if you have more than one panist is relegated to another guy. He plays what they call double seconds. So no, I just play the melody and improvise on top of that. And as you heard on that track that you just played, the backup tracks, I do all of that myself as well. I have a sequencer that I put the background tracks on, and I play to it. So it's more or less steel pan karaoke.
Wow, amazing! Technology is amazing.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't need a band. I mean, I'm not dissing the musicians and stuff, but they just show up on time. Well, anyway, I don't need a band. No.
Okay. Well, if technology is there, you may as well use it, and it makes it that much more complete to get a lot accomplished in little time.
Oh yeah. I mean, to do well, to program a tune, it could take 5 minutes. It could take 5 months, depending on what you want to say.
Yes. Well, especially when you're traveling too, you don't have to travel with a whole bunch of people and a whole lot of instruments and whatnot. Like to see.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, talking about travel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, yeah. You just roll with the pan, and I use for my tracks. I have them on an iPod.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I just
Go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, but a bit of a delay. I just plug the iPod into whatever system that's needed at that particular time. Sometimes I would mic the pan, depending on the size of the venue. But most of my gigs are small and intimate, so I don't need to go through all of that production. I just have an app that I just put the iPod through, and I play the pan as is.
Well, I use an acronym, KISS. Keep it short and simple. Well, you keep it short and simple when you put it together your show, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, simplicity. That's it.
Yes.
You don't want to have a whole lot of clutter going on and stuff. You just want to have it nice and play.
Listen to your music. Instead of calling it short, I would say you keep your music short. No, you keep your music sweet and simple when it comes to playing your music. Now, talking about, I got to ask you this. Talking about your travels before I forget it. You have done extensive travels in your career as a musician. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Where all did your travels take you?
Oh Lord. Well, as a bass player, I was living in the States, so I was in a couple of road bands, and we were doing like top 40 covers. So we toured like the East Coast, like from West Virginia down to Florida and back, and then St. Thomas, which is actually where I first went to St. Thomas in a group that was based out of New York, and then again a group that was based out of Baltimore, and we played at Frenchman's Reef, and that was like in the late 70s and the early 80s, yeah. But with ships, I've been, let's see, the Mexican Riviera, Hawaiian Islands, the South Pacific, like Moorea, Bora Bora, Papeete. And and all the entire East and Western Caribbean, because it's steel band, they keep me there and on the cruise ships. But I have done a couple of gigs over in Europe as well, and also in Scotland and Germany. Wow,
amazing! You've covered the waterfront and you've covered the world in your travels.
Well, wow. What? When I first took up pen. And I was alongside some of the heavies down in St. Thomas, actually. They told me that pan will take you places. And I didn't quite know what that meant at that time. But now I do.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we could talk and talk and talk, but I'd like to listen to a little bit more of your music. You did a piece called Besame Mucho, Kiss Me a Lot.
Mucho, yes.
Yeah, let's take a listen to that. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about it after we get through, okay? I'll go ahead and play it right now.
Okay.
Thank you. to give our listeners a little sample of what you do, how you do it. Wow. How did you happen to select that one tune?
I'm sorry, how did I happen to what?
How do you happen to select the way you organize or you, what's the musical term you use? Arrange that tune.
Well, okay. I've had tunes like when I became a solo player, I had a lot of background playing, and when I became a steel pan soloist, those are tunes that I've had in the back of my mind for years and years that I wanted to record and put my signature on it, kind of thing, you know.
Oh.
So as far as the arrangements and stuff, believe it or not, those things just come to me. Like, you know, I want to do this particular tune. I may want to do it as like the arrangement that you heard just now, right? That would just come to me. And just go to I just go to the sequencer and there you go. And that comes out. That didn't take too long to do, actually. You know, that just
really?
sort of like that just had that sort of I don't know, that sort of like darkness to it, kind of thing. And
yes.
So that's how that happened. But also I had this gig on a cruise ship years ago, and that was one of the tunes that the leader of the band called constantly. I mean, I must have played that tune like a gazillion times. I said to myself, I'll never do it again. and when I was playing bass at the time, right? And then that gig passed. And then when I took off the pan, I said, you know what? That's still stuck in my head. So I guess I have to bring it out, and that's what happened.
So you put it down on a CD, huh?
Yeah. I've got as far as CDs go. Now we'll talk about that in a minute, if you don't mind. I have 3 Tropicana Steel Pan Bermuda, volumes 1, 2, and 3, and they are actually available online. And
really?
I sell them as MP3s now. I don't do CDs anymore, although I have a distribution company here in Bermuda that does sell CDs and such. But people are leaning more towards MP3s now. So I have them on a site called CD Baby. And the address is, can I give it out, the address?
Go right ahead, please do, yes.
Okay. The address is www.cdbaby.com/artist/Robert Symons, one word. And Symons is spelled Symons.
Very good, very good. Now, you say your CDs are available in Bermuda?
Yes, they are. They're available at the Music Box. That's a local record company here, and their email address is musicboxbda. BDA is abbreviation for Bermuda. At logic.bm.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, good. We have to mention that because since the show is online, we have listeners from around the world, and I'm sure somewhere down the line, somebody from Bermuda will say, I didn't know Robert had CDs here. Where can I find them? There you go. We'll have it now. Now don't.
I also have a music store on my Facebook page, and that's www.facebook.com/Tropicana Steel Pan. That's all one word, Tropicana Steel Pan.
Yes.
You go on there, and you can like me on Facebook. Yeah, that would be nice. And also, there's an icon that says Music Store, and you can click onto that, and it takes you right to the CD Baby site, and you can just go ahead and download to your heart's content, man.
Fantastic. A musician who's using technology of today to expose your music to the world, I think it's fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm so glad we had a chance to meet with you because you're making a contribution to a peaceful, sweet, lovable world. Man, let's hope the world will continue to be like that.
I agree.
Sure. Great.
Yeah.
Listen, let's have a little more taste of your music. You have another song that you put out called La Vie en Rose, or
Yes.
Rose.
Yeah, that's the joy of life, actually. Something like that. Yeah.
I thought so. The life. Well, anyhow, I had to stop and think for a minute to switch to French, and I threw myself off. But Charles, how did you happen to select that song? And then we'll play a little taste of it.
That tune right there, it's a happy tune, man. I find, it's a very happy tune and has a sort of like a positive vibe to it, right? And as far as the arrangement went, that didn't come by divine inspiration. Actually, I heard the version that was done by Grace Jones.
Oh.
And yeah, I had never heard. I think I'd seen her as an actress, sorry, and I didn't know that she sang. But I heard this version of La Vie en Rose, which I have pretty much close to it, and I just liked it. I just was just like, wow, And I said, well, yeah, I'm going to do this tune, and it's a happy tune. I'm going to do it this style, but I'm going to put my little signature on it, which you're about to hear.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and listen to it right now then, okay?
Okay, buddy.
All right. About it being a happy tune, it certainly is.
Yeah, another thing about that tune was the inspiration came for doing that tune was when actually I lived in St. Thomas and St. John.
Oh, really?
And yeah, well, see, that tune is off of my very first CD recording as Tropicana Steel Pan. I had reinvented myself. When I lived in the Virgin Islands, I came down there as a bass player, and I left as a steel pan soloist, right? And that was one of the tunes that inspired me when I was living down there. And so a lot of part of Tropicana Steel Pan Bermuda Volume 1 is inspired by my living in St. Thomas, believe it or not.
Well, no wonder we connect so well. You're another virgin from the islands, as I am.
Yeah,
awesome,
that was
brother.
like, yeah, I had gone down to the Virgin Islands actually with the intention of staying for 6 months, and I ended up staying for 7 years.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
A lot of things. I had a good time down there.
Now, while you were here in St. Thomas, you were all over the place. You were at hotels, you were performing here and there. Can you remember some of the places you may have played? Because I'm sure some of those listeners are going to be wondering if you remember them. So what are some of the places or with whom you played here while you were here in St. Thomas?
Wow, okay. People that I played with, No, I could rattle it off. There were some people I played with. One was a guy named Bert Schneider. He's yeah, you know Bert. And
I know.
Alonzo Haynes. And Haynes you'll find on the main street during the season. There's a little, I think it's a souvenir shop, but there's a courtyard there, and he plays in there with a guitar player. His name is Alonzo Haynes. So I played with him and a guy named Dusty Crook, and they were lead band players, and I was playing bass at the time. And I just happened to look across because a lot of people ask me like, how do you play it? What are the bumps for? Blah blah blah. How people they don't know anything about the instrument. But and I was thinking the same thing. I said, well, how does he know where to hit that? And like, how could he get coax all that beautiful stuff out of there? And there's one cat that I was playing with. He was playing not just calypso songs, man, but he was playing like a lot of pop stuff and tunes that I knew and recognized.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, So that's kind of like how Tropicana Steel Pan got started, right? I was inspired that way.
Thank you.
Now, as far as the venues, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead about the venues. What are you going to say?
Oh, the venues, let's see, I rattle off some. Frenchman's Reef, Belongo Bay, the Ritz-Carlton, Canil Bay, the Westin over on St. John.
Wow.
Yeah, Stouffer's is no longer there. Sugar Bay I played at, and if you're going down to say Red Hook and you're going through the over the hill and down, all those hotels along there I played at as well because we had to do. Oh, and also Mountaintop, that was nice up there. I had a gig up at Mountaintop. That was nice. Yeah, so at Blackbeard's Castle I was up there as well.
Wow. So you did Blackbeard. Did you do Bluebeard's Castle too?
No, never had a chance to play at Bluebeard's Castle for some reason. When I was at Blackbeard's Castle, I was like the resident bass player there. I hadn't done the switch as far as playing pan. I was playing bass. And the thing about Blackbeard's was they had jazz duos coming down from the mainland, like New York, Connecticut, Boston, yada yada. And they were like singers, and they would have their pianist with them. And I got an opportunity to play with them, and that was nice. That was really nice. I had a good time up there.
Listen, I know your time is limited. You have about 10 more minutes or so. Would you be able to extend it a little bit and stay with us a little longer, or do you have to run right away?
No, man, I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good then. Good, because I would love to have our listeners know a little bit more about you as well as listen to your music.
Okay.
And speaking about you, before I go into talking about how you got to Scotland, what I like to do on the show is we normally give tips to our authors. And authors and musicians have a lot in common. They're both creating something, they're creating a product, and they put it to the public.
Right.
When you became a musician, what helped you either in your early days or as you made the transition or along the way? What tips can you pass on to other musicians or musicians wannabes, or I should put that, to be politically correct, I should say, anticipated musicians? What tips do you have?
Okay. Well, man, I got a lot of inspiration from a lot of cats, man, coming up. As far as the approach to playing was, I was always told to listen. It's important that you listen. Listen, That was one. And another thing that I found, just being out there, being on the road, was that just don't give up. Just hang in there. We have a term and a cricket term. I don't know if some of your listeners might be familiar with the game cricket. It's like stick to the wicket, the runs will come. So if you're driven that way, if that's your passion, just don't give up. You have high points and you have low points, but that could be anything in life.
Sure.
But a lot of times you get that cush gig. It was like, I finally arrived. No, you haven't. It's just that, you paid some dues for a while, and now you get a little bit of easy street for a minute, But the longer you're in it, the longer you're staying in it, the better it becomes, and it's a lot more rewarding because things do come your way. But if you have that gift of music or that gift or whatever, you just because it's meant to be shared with the world, yeah. So you're part of the world, yeah. So you just keep on doing that. You just keep on giving that, because this is what we do, yeah. So you just keep on doing that, man, and things do come your way. Things do come your way. And I've been in this business now for, oh Lord, well, I've been playing actually since I was like a young kid, and I've been playing like for 53 years now.
Wow.
Right? And professionally for like 42 or something like that there. Yeah. So, and I wouldn't be doing anything else now. Like before, when I first started out, yes, I had these other like real jobs. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was fine. That sort of like paved the way. But there was always something inside that was driving me musically. So when I decided I was going to take that road, that was it. And the thing is that it's you got to have fun, man. You have to enjoy what it is that you do. And I wish that a lot of people who have these so-called real jobs had that same approach, because there's a lot of people out there, man, who have jobs and stuff and gigs and stuff, but they're totally unhappy in what they're doing because they're not following their passion,
Exactly. And because they're not happy, their customer service skills go downhill.
Oh, if they're in like but they have to deal with public and they're not happy. Oh Lord, no.
Yeah. Oh
no,
yes,
no.
We know that the tourist economy. We know that. Yes. But let's move on before we run out of time, because I want to ask you about how you ended up being invited to represent Bermuda in Scotland. You went to the Edinburgh Military Tattoo. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the Edinburgh Tattoo, 2003. Actually, I had this gig, man, at the airport here in Bermuda, and I played in U.S. departures. There was like people's last impression of leaving Bermuda, yada yada yada. U.S. departures at the Bermuda airport, and the CEO of that event happened to be passing through. I guess he had been here, whatever he was doing here, and heard me. And shortly after that, I didn't even know he was like passing through. He didn't say anything. He just listened for a while. And I mean, at an airport, man, there's hundreds of people or thousands of people going in thousands of different directions, and you don't know who's coming through, and your audience changes every 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, yeah, I know. So that's what started it, and then you ended up going to Scotland. And when was that? In 2003?
Yeah, that was 2003. We spent 5 years there. I had never been to Edinburgh, and I'll tell you what, it's a big thing over there, man. The tattoo is huge. It's huge. And we had heads of state. There were guests of honor and at various times during the thing. We had, I think from 10 different nations. We had military bands and such. It's different, but it was quite an experience, and it was quite nice.
Okay, please clarify for our audience. When you say military tattoo, are you talking about the skin tattoo, the engraving on the skin, or are you talking about a military function?
It's a function, man. It's not like you go to a parlor and get marked up, though.
That's what I was wondering, man.
You're funny, man. You're funny, man.
Well, that's what it's called. But we have listeners from all over the world, and they're going to say, man, that guy went all the way to Scotland and got tattooed.
Yeah, right. No, it's all like precision formations and all kind of stuff, man. It's like if you get a chance to check it out, you should.
By the way, talking about checking it out, you have a video on YouTube where the audience can see it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you happen to know that? I mean, to know. Do you happen to remember that address, or am I putting you on the spot?
No. Just go on to because it's a whole lot of numbers and letters and stuff. But just go on to YouTube, onto the site, and just put in my name, Robert Symons.
And it's spelled Symons.
That's correct, Symons. Just put that in, and then all my stuff pops up. My page, I have a channel there, I believe, and all my stuff pops up there.
Fantastic! This is
great. I have more than one video.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, that's great. Well, since you have time to stay with us, let's go and listen to some more of your music. How about this one, Summer? Okay, I thank you for allowing us to share your music with the audience. This is fantastic.
It's great. It's great for me too. Thank you.
Robert, this is sweet. Keep listening to it all morning long. But we must march on, yes. Listen, tell us a little bit about where do I want to go with this? I have a thought in mind. I just lost it. Oh yes, I was asking you about your career, and you did a lot of traveling. And in your travels, you become a professional musician. Who are some of the clients that you're available for, or you've worked with? Tell the audience about that, please. How can they reach you if they want to hire you? That's what I'm getting at.
Okay. I have an email address,
sure,
which is Robert Symons. That's RobertSymons, lowercase, @hotmail.com. And my contact information, my phone information is area code 441, and the number is 747-6575.
Okay. Where would they be able to find your CD and your MP3s online?
Online will be www.cdbaby.com /artist/Robert Symons.
And Robert Symons is all one word?
Yes.
Okay, good. And for our folks who may be in or visiting Bermuda, how would they be able to pick up your CD?
If they're coming to Bermuda and they want to purchase a CD, they can get them at an establishment called The Music Box, and that's on Reed Street in Hamilton.
Okay. Great. So now you became a professional musician, and you are working, traveling the world.
Mm-hmm.
You live a nice life. You live in Bermuda, where it's tropical and it's sunshiny and it's all like that all year long. Man, do you ever miss being away from Scotland or anywhere else you've gone?
Do I? Yeah, yes and no. I mean, a lot of these places that I've been to were like first times, and they were like actually quite awesome. So I would at one point maybe consider going back for another visit, and be like a tourist, you know.
Oh, okay.
For instance, like working on the cruise ships, I've just put 25 years out there, and I'd never been a passenger.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Yeah. So now, you know, I'm more or less not doing that much on ships as far as traveling. You know, I'm going to pursue that dream one day, and I will go as a passenger kind of thing. So I kind of miss a lot of these places that I've been to, but I've been there to work. You know.
Okay. Yeah, you were working. Yeah, you didn't have a chance to really enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
with the cruise ship thing, yes. I had days off, so I could sort of like venture out, and that was kind of nice. But you know, you always have in the back of your mind, oh, I got to get back to the ship. I got to do that gig. You know.
Back to the ship. Yeah, I know. That's a common phrase here in the Virgin Islands. Back to the ship. The taxi drivers always drive up and down, and they see a tourist. Back to the ship.
Yeah,
we know that term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So tell us, what does the future hold for Robert Symons? Are you going into movies? Are you going to Hollywood? Are you staying put in Bermuda? Or what does the future hold?
Well, for right now, man, I'm just kicking my feet up and enjoying life these days, man. Like I've been out there for a while, you know, and I do have some projects on the back burner. Which will involve some musical projects that I have on the back burner, and I also have a few more CDs or a few more compilations that I'm going to be releasing. So I'm going to be more or less focusing on that, and sort of like getting out of the performing end of it.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, I mean, I'm not going to get out of it entirely. I wouldn't mind a gig here or there. But I want to put focus more on music and getting it out there to people via the medias like MP3, CDs, and that type of thing.
Yeah, sure. So not only are you a musician, but you're also a producer because you produce your own work. Is that right?
Yeah. That's what the producing is, basically just giving direction as to how you want things done. So and
Sure.
my thing is relatively simple, because I just arrange the stuff. I put them on the sequencer, arrange it, and take it into the studio I mix in New York, a place called Bass Hit Recording Studio. My friend David Darlington up there, and so it's relatively simple, man. It's just like mix the tracks for the backup, and then just play the pan on top of it, and maybe just stick some reverb in there, and away you go.
Okay, good. Well, I just want you to know when you're ready with your new CD or MP3 or whatever it is you're producing, you're welcome back to the show at any time. Just let us know.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. In fact, I have just recorded Volume 4, and it's all jazz. It's all jazz standards, man. It's different.
Okay. Got a question to ask you that's been puzzling me. I've never heard, if I can recall correctly, I've never heard reggae being played by steel pan. Have you done any tunes, or do you know if it's been done?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been in the wrong places then.
Yeah. You. No, man. There's some players out there, man. These guys are like they'll burn it, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
I hear a lot of reggae, but not so much in the steel pan. It's more of the singers. Yeah, the soloists. Yeah.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of how can I put this? The steel pan to a lot of people is like it's got to be calypso, and has to be sort of like I don't know, Matilda and a big party and a limbo and all that sort of stuff, But as I mentioned before, there was a cat that I played with down there named Dusty, and Dusty was playing anything, not even calypso related, and that's where the light went off on my light. The light went off on my head. It's like, wow, you can play anything on this, Unfortunately, people still have that mindset, like, oh well, it's steel pan and it has to be Caribbean music. And when I was working on ships, of course, I had to be in the Caribbean. That's why I spent mostly 25 years down there, But I remember hearing like the large bands on the ships, and they were playing classical music, like William Tell Overture and stuff, and they're playing classical tunes. And that's what like got your attention, It was like, wow. I mean, this is a lot of versatility in this instrument. So, yeah. I mean, there's guys playing like top 40. I had this one cat playing stuff from Alicia Keys, and nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
trying to get out of like the mindset like that it has to be one particular genre of music. There's a whole world out there, man, and you could play anything on any instrument, really. It's just that the powers that be sort of like have to, put you in a pigeonhole or label you so that you can sort of like be recognized in this particular category, and that doesn't necessarily have to be the thing. Like when you hear my music, it's I guess it has a Caribbean a feel and flavor to it because it's a steel pan, yeah.
Yes.
But that's where the similarities kind of end, and my stuff was more like pop, right? Where like some cats went jazz, like Andy Narell, Othello Molyneux, and cats like that. They went jazz, and they just nail it. And I just decided pop because that was my background. I came up playing pop music and stuff, So.
But talking about diversity, you went into diversity when you decided to put a medley of Phantom of the Opera on your CD.
Mm-hmm.
Using that, at least part of that as my theme song, but it's a rather long one, and with your permission, I'd like to play the whole thing so that the audience can get a flavor of what it's like to hear it on the steel pan. Would that be all right?
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll go right into that, the medley of the Phantom of the Opera by steel band music.
I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Yes, okay.
All right, buddy. is.
Well, there it goes. 10 minutes later. You weren't kidding, Robert. 10 minutes later.
Yeah, that's a bit lengthy.
Wow. I thank you. I thank you for allowing us the privilege of playing that. I certainly enjoy having you with us today. We have about 2 minutes left, so do you have any last-minute questions, comments, tips? It's all yours.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and also to your listening audience, which I understand is worldwide. This
Yes.
is indeed an honor for me to be on your show and to reach as many people as we've reached today. Just like to wish everybody all the best, and God bless everyone. And hopefully you'll be hearing more from me in the future.
Definitely. The door's wide open. Just let us know, and we'll have you back. Hopefully
thank you so much.
Hopefully you wouldn't come up with a 15-minute CD next time.
I think you're going to like the volume 4, but we could talk more about that a little later on.
Okay. Good enough. Well, listen, I want to thank you ever so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to spending time with us. Originally, it was going to be a half-an-hour show. It extended into a full hour. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to spend with us and with our audience. I'm sure everybody's gotten something out of it. They've learned, and they've been entertained. They've been educated, as I like to put it. So thank you.
Oh, man, but thank you for having me, and I wish you a very, very blessed day, mate.
You do.
Okay, now.
So
bye-bye.
Okay, so long for now. As we go out, folks, we want to say thank you ever so much for taking time to be with us today. As I said, it was a very special show. We had a very special guest, and it has been a blessing in more ways than one. So until next time, this is Ettien A. Gibbs in the Author's Corner with Ettien, bringing you the special show today, featuring our special guest, Robert Symons, Steel Pan. So long for now. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was nice, man. Okay.